Alright everybody, here we go. We are going to be installing the DRKDSS track bar correction kit for the first generation Toyota Sequoia. Since my personal Sequoia has been through it, mud, sand, some beach, I'm using some PB Blaster and I'm going to just shoot some in to these bolt slots just to, make it a little easier to work with in the future. I'm also going to do so on the driver's side. You can even tell that bolt is a little rusty there, so we're going to shoot it on that nut, and then we're going to shoot it on the bolt end as well. Hopefully just make our life a little bit easier. May have overdone it right there a little bit, got a little overspray, got to clean that up later. So hopefully this makes my life a little bit easier down the line, and it will make yours easier too. On to the next step, we are going to be loosening up the driver's side bolt nut. You're going to end up sliding a 19 millimeter. I use the box close end just because it feels a little more secure for me. I slide it up and over the bolt side, and then I use a deep 19 millimeter socket on my 3/8 impact. You'll see later a 1/2 inch impact is probably better, but the 3/8 worked for this side. We got that one off, and now we are going to move to the passenger side where the meat and potatoes of the job's done. Now, I encountered a bit of an issue on this side. When you go in, I first thought it was a 19 millimeter. It is not a 19 millimeter on that nut. It is a 21 millimeter. So I'm going to feel around incorrectly, understanding, oh wait, that's not the right size. And then I go and I grab the correct 21 millimeter, slide it over that nut, and then I am going to try and use my 3/8 impact with a shallow 19 millimeter. You will see a no avail. I'm just sitting there zipping. Nothing's going to happen here. So I'm going to have to go and grab a 19 millimeter wrench. And thanks to the PB Blaster and my strength, I'm able to break it loose. And then we loosen this one up. We are going to notice that it's in there. It's in there pretty good. It took a fair amount of persuasion, and the bolt was a little longer than I anticipated. It's a long bolt. You will see how long it is upon removal, and you will also see why it was a little harder to get out than you would anticipate, in my case anyways. I'm still struggling with it here. I have to go back in with the impact and zip it the rest of the way out. Now, let's look at it. We are not going to reuse this bolt, but oh, look at there, red Loctite. That's a lot of red Loctite and some rust on there. We are not going to use red Loctite. I mean, we are going to use red Loctite, but blue Loctite is preferred. If you do use red Loctite, just a little bit. But luckily, we do not have to reuse this bolt. We have amazing hardware included in this kit. So I'm going to go and remove that 21 millimeter wrench, and we're going to just pop up. Oh wait, the track bar. No, we can't pop the track bar out because we have the ABS line that is in the way. So are going to do is not that, Andrew. We're not going to try and force it out. We're going to look and see what kind of clamp is in there, and then we are going to grab the appropriate tool and get it out. In this case, I just grabbed a pair of pliers and I removed it with the pliers. You want to be careful while removing your ABS lines, especially in these older vehicles, as you know, things happen, they break. So just be careful with what you do. Don't go and gorilla everything out. Just take your time, toss the wrench on there, and then just ease it out. Again, it's an older piece that's been exposed to the elements. Try not to break it. And there you go. Gonna go tuck that out of the way, off to the side. And now we are good to take out the track bar. We're going to take the track bar and we're going to use the bungee cord, and we're going to bungee cord it out of the way. Sorry I did not get that on camera, but we are bungee cording it to the frame. Just keep it up and out of the way so it's easier to perform all of the other actions needed to install the kit. Once all of that is up and out of the way, you are going to be able to look in and see if you need to clean out anything. Just look in there, make sure that there's no rust in there and it's free of debris. Mine was free of debris, so I'm going to move forward and I'm going to start mocking up the kit. The backing plate, super easy, super simple. It goes in there. And then something that I noticed when I was putting this bolt in and just kind of seeing where everything kind of lays, this bolt just goes in there. I'm just kind of sitting here and I was thinking that, what am I going to do with that little flange right there? Am I going to be able to reuse it? Am I not going to be able to reuse it? But yes, I am. Look at that. You have just enough space right there to plug back in the wire clamp back into that flange. DRKDSS did an amazing job in engineering this with everything in mind. So I just wanted to show you that it's going to, in the end, work out. So now I'm just going to take out this bolt and I'm going to continue on with the install. But that was just a quick little side note that I wanted to let everybody know. Again, I didn't have to open up this flange either. I'm one of the lucky ones, and I was able to just slide the backing plate in. Now, with this coffin locking nut, you are going to be careful with how you do it because it's going to be a pain in the butt. Just slide it in this way with the bolt, with the nut up, with the welded nut up, facing up. You're going to want to try and like guesstimate where the bottom hole on the bracket is going to be, and then just kind of set it in there. I'm taking a little more time than probably need to because you're going to be able to fit your finger in there later. So now I'm going and I'm fitting the meat and potatoes of the kit. Bear with me as I get all the hardware and everything and reposition the camera. There we are. So this is a bit better of a view. We're going to take the longer bolt. I put a little too much of the red Loctite on this one. I would say about half that, just one drop, one or two, maybe three threads. So now we're going to put the main plate, the front plate on, and we are going to use this one. There you go. It's a little closer. See, a little bit too much. I would not want to put 4 threads of thread Loctite on here. It spreads very easy, super thin. So good luck to me if I need to remove this for any reason in the future. So now we're gonna go and put that plate on up there, and then we're gonna just put this longer bolt, provided bolt, grade 8 bolt at that in there. And we are going to lift up the back plate, slide that bolt in, and then we're just going to thread it in a few threads. Not too much, not too little, just enough so you have a little bit of ability to manipulate the plate. And then we're going to grab one of the shorter bolts and we're going to put it in the bottom. There I am. You can fit your finger in there and then you can move and adjust that coffin shape weld nut to where you need it. I put a better quantity of Loctite on this bolt. We're just gonna put it on in there. It is remarkably easy to get this one threaded. The threads are nice and wide and everything is just so well thought out that this was a lot easier than I thought it would be. This, one of those blind things could be a pain. This was not. This was actually real easy. Get it in there. You'll feel it moving around a little bit and then it adjusts and locks in. Here's the other shorter bolt that you go and you put it in the other side on the outside. And then you just screw that one in as well. Again, you're just going to put these in enough to where it's holding everything in place and you still have some adjustability, because the next step we are going to lift the rear of the car and SUV, truck, whatever you got, in this case Sequoia, and we're going to, nope, not yet, we're going to try and put the track bar in, and then we are going to see that this is why we may need a special little dead blow tool to adjust the attitude of the track bar into place. You can see here it's not going in, so I'm going to grab the dead blow hammer and I'm going to hammer it down in there, and we are going to have it in there in just a couple seconds. So I have skipped a couple steps here to show you how everything looks all bolted up. I went and I jacked up the back side of the vehicle so I could line up the bolt hole. And initially, I tried jacking it up on the diff. That did not work for me. I was not able to get the proper amount of droop for me to be able to align those bolt holes up. So I went and I jacked up on the frame right over here, and that gave me the ability, if you can see it, it's kind of hard to see with this lighting, but it gave me the ability to droop down the suspension a little bit more so that I can line up that bolt hole. That bolt hole just slides right in. You slap that nut on the back, and then you've tightened everything up. Again, you want to go, and it's, for me personally, this was the spot to lift it up. It may be different for you, trial and error. So I went through and I tightened all the bolts. I also went through and I torqued all the bolts down to your torque specifications. These torque specs are very, very high. Just be careful, don't hurt yourself. 110 and 125 foot-pounds. Take your time with it. Grab a buddy if you need to. But one thing I haven't done yet, but I will have to do, is I will have to slap on some paint to some paint marks for witness marks to make sure that nothing is backing out. On this bowl right here, again, you just want to take your time with this one. It stays super in there, it's locked in there, it's not going nowhere. The one on the side as well. So when you're bolting these up, you want to go and just take your time with everything. You go into that main stock bracket first, then you're going to do the bottom, the side. Again, I'm showing you where to lift in my case, but this is the final bolt to torque down is the top one. And then right there, you can also see the nut back there. And don't forget about torquing down this side as well. Dom, I want to thank you, aka Dr. KDSS, for such an amazing product. It's super level, as you can see right now. It's beautiful to look at. I'm probably going to slap on Dr. KDSS sticker right there on the bottom, but everything is so well thought out. Everything is so well put together. It's just a million times better than having to worry about grinding down, prepping, welding, getting a welder at that, and welding your own correction kit. This kit is so much more than I expected. I expected a high marks from Dom, but this is amazing. Just looking at it from the side, you can tell it's great. And I can't get over how level it is. It's just dialed. Again, Dom, I want to thank you.